Hello everyone, my name is Shafi. Today in this class we are going to discuss about calling privileges. So we'll be looking into calling privileges overview, then calling privileges configuration elements, partition and calling search spaces, time of day, call routing, and CMC and FAQ. So already we have done the CMC and FAQ into the route pattern this one. Okay. Rest of other things we are going to be discuss this one. Let's see what exactly the overview of the calling privileges. What is this calling privileges and why we require this calling privileges? Okay. Calling privileges control available component of a call routing database that are accessible to an endpoint. The primary application of calling privileges is implementation of class of service, COS. It is used to control the toll fraud by blocking costly numbers. Okay. See, in a call manager, we have a different types of number. Okay. So now you want to be now when you have a different number like emergency number, local number, national number, international number, fax number, this is how we have a different numbers. Now you want to give the permission to the users what type of the numbers they can able to dial. Okay. Now you want to give the permission to make only emergency and local call. Now they don't have the permission to make international call, or they don't have the permission to make the fax call. So that's how you want to be, you know, control the user. For this one, we have to be configure the calling privileges. Okay. Calling privileges can also use to implement a special applications such as THO, tail and hop off. Okay, what is this THO, tail and hop off? Example, I'm having a scenario like this one. See, this is I'm having an office in India. It's in Bangalore. Okay, so I'm having some IP phones here. There is one COCM here. Okay, these phones are registered here in this one. Then we have a gateway. Now we have PSTN connection. Then also ISP connection, internet. ISP we are having here this one. Then I'm having an office in US, Chicago also. Okay. Chicago also I'm having an office here. This one here also we have CUCM and IP phones are registered. Okay. This one. Now here also we have a PSTN connection and ISP connection. So in US, there is one user. Okay. This is the user in US, local user. Okay. Its number is 147200987. That's the number. Okay. Of this user here. Now, there is one user here sitting here in Bangalore office. Now, this user wants to dial this number. Which number? This one? US number. So, what happened here? This one. If I dial, if the call is routing from, for example, if call is routing hitting on the gateway from the gateway, PSTN, from the PSTN, it can be connect to this call. But what happened this one, when it is connecting, this is the international call, right? International call. And it will be expensive. It will be what? Expensive here, this one, right? International call charges will be coming here in this one. Already we have an office here in the US. What we can do here now, we can set up like this. Whenever if I want to dial this US number, call has to go via internet. It has to connect to the US call manager. US call manager. Again from here, the call from the local gateway, it can be connect here this one. Now see, first it will be connecting to my US office. Now from the US office local gateway, the call is routing. Now it's a local call, right? Now already I have an internet. Already I have an office in the US, this one. So that's how what happened this one. Now it's the international charges. This is the local charges. This is how we can do it. For this type of setup, we call THO, tail end hop off. Got it? But doing this type of calls in India, it's illegal. It's a fraud. So we don't have permission to make this type of call. But yes, in UK and US, you can do it here, this one. But in India, we can't do it, this one. This. Okay. So it's illegal here in India. Okay. Even if you have an office in US, yes, from Bangalore to US office, you can dial through internet. If you want, you can dial it this one. But you cannot dial it via, okay, to the external user. This is the user is not within your CUSIM is not registered. This is an external user in the PSTN. But this type of calls making, it's a not acceptable here as per the TRAI rules, telephone regulations. So to restrict this type of the call, again, we require what? Calling privileges. Okay, if you want to be restrict this type of call, calling privileges has to be configured. There is a concept of logical partitioning. Okay, so this we implement only in India. If you have a setup like this one, to restrict this type of calls, the logical partitioning we are going to be configured. So not only here, Dubai, there are many other countries we have. So you can be do it that one. Got it? Okay. Next, also we can use this calling privileges. Another application of course is time of day routing. Okay. TOD, time of day routing also. If you want to be implement, you can implement. Generally, every company, there will be a setup. How the setup will be. For example, you are selling one product. For that product, you have advertise one toll-free number. Consider in US there is a company. Okay, so they have advertised their toll-free number. Means US people, the customers, they'll be calling to the toll-free number. When they dial the toll-free number, what happens this one? The toll-free number coming to their gateway to the call manager. Internally, some users will be there. It will be connecting to that user. Someone will be answering. Example, and they'll be whatever their queries, doubts, or anything they have, they are going to be clarified on that one. Now, US people, they work only morning 9 to 5. After 5, no one is available in the US office, evening 5. Okay. Next, what happened? There is another team is sitting in India. There are two teams to support the customers. One team is sitting here. Example, we can take it like this one. Morning 9 to night 9 o'clock. Okay, morning 9 o'clock. Or else we can take it. Morning 7 o'clock to evening 7 o'clock. So US people, they are going to support their time. After 7 p.m. their time, here in India, it's a daytime. Okay. After 7 p.m. if the call comes, now no one is available in India, US office. Now the call has to be come to India here. Why? Because there is another team sitting here. Now what happened this one? The customer, they are dialing still single number. Even they dial in the morning also, night also, they are dialing single number. Morning 7 to evening 7 if they are dialing, call will be connecting to the US office. After 7 p.m. until next day morning 7 o'clock, if they are dialing, now call has to be come to the Indian time. So for this, we call time of day routing. Single number, it has to be connected to the two different region, two different time zones. Okay, that's called time of day routing. Again, to achieve this time of day routing, we require the calling privileges. Okay, so calling privileges we require. Got it, this one? Next, we'll see the elements. See, we have a partition, CSS, time period, time schedule. We have CMC FAQ, already you are aware. Client matter code, force authorization code. Means calling privileges means whenever you are dialing that one, you require a permission. Permission means some extra access code you want to dial. CMC already we have done the practical and we have seen how it works. FAQ also how it works. We have that. Now partition and CSS we have, and this time period and time schedule, which is related to time of day routing. Whenever you want to implement time of day routing, this time periods and time schedule we require. And whenever you are making external call, some extra permission you require, CMC and FAQ you can be configured. Now let's discuss what exactly this partition and CSS Okay, how it works, how we can configure this partition and CSS. That's very, very important. Why? Because without partition and CSS, okay, what we do, it's not possible to do the dial plan or calling. It's not possible to create on that one. And also in an interview, they'll ask about what is partition and CSS. Because if the partition and CSS is mismatched or it is not or configured properly, then the calls will be not route. Either incoming call will not route and external call also will be not route here, this one. So that's how we have to be, it's important. What is partition? And even in interview, they'll ask about this partition and CSS. Okay, it's very simple. Partition is a group of dialable patterns with a similar accessibility. There are many things we have here, this one. It's very simple. In a call manager, if there are different types of numbers we have. If any number you can able to dial, means example, DN number. DN number means dial number. This is the number you are going to assign to your phones. It can be any phone, physical phone, soft phone, anything. You are assigning that one. Then after, translation pattern number, route pattern number, meet me number. Okay, these are the different types of numbers. For any of this number, you can able to dial. You can dial DN number, you can dial translation pattern number, you can dial route pattern number, you can dial the meet me number. Means there are different types of number you can be configured. For any number, if you can able to dial, for every dial number, you are going to assign one partition. In Call Manager, there are different types of number we can be configured. Whenever you assign or configure any number, for every number we can assign partition. That's a very simple here. Okay. Okay. And a number assigned to a partition is logical segmented from the rest of the dial plan. Means you are grouping. When you have a different numbers, you are grouping that one. How you are grouping? By using the partition. So it's very simple answer you can give. What is the partition? In a call manager, if any number we can able to dial, for that number we can assign the partition. And by doing, for an example, we have different types of number, DN number, translation pattern number, route pattern, meet me number. For every different number, we are going to grouping. Okay, this is DN number, this is route pattern number, this is translation pattern, by using the partition. That's it. Okay. Next, CSS. CSS, calling search space here, this one. Okay, when you have created a different partitions, now CSS define which partition you can able to reach. Which partition you can be able to. There will be a many partitions. Maybe 5, 50, 100 partition, that one. CSS define. Okay, now here also CSS, you can create multiple CSS. Based on the location, based on the user, we can be create. Now CSS defines which partition you can be able to be reached. For an example, now we have international number. Now we have created one user, one CSS we have applied. That CSS contain only emergency and local number. That means the user, whatever the CSS we have applied, that can be dial only to the local number and emergency number. Under that CSS, there is no international partition. That's how you can be restrict that one. So that is the difference between the partition and CSS. Any dial number partition can be assigned. Okay. And CSS define which partition the CSS can able to be reached. And thus that CSS we are going to be applied to the phones. For example, one CSS I have applied to the phone. Now that phone goes to that CSS. Under that CSS, how many partitions are there? Only to that partition, only to that group the call goes. Okay. Example, it's like this. See, I'm having a 3 departments. I'm having one sales, marketing, some other department, sales, marketing, operations. Okay, 3 departments I'm having. There are some users here in the sales, marketing, operations. Example, totally here, sales 60 IP phones we have, marketing 100 we have, operation around 35 we have. This is how we have different. That means for all these phones, now we have created partition. Okay. Partition, sales, partition, marketing, partition, operation. Now this partition we have assigned to all these 60 users. Partition marketing is assigned to all this one. Operations we have assigned to this one. Now I have created CSS1. Okay. Under this CSS1, only partition 1 and partition marketing and sales I have assigned. Okay. Now this is my phone. This is my phone. Okay. For this phone, this CSS we have applied. This phone, this CSS. Now, if I dial any sales number, first it checks what CSS you have, sales number. Under this CSS, sales partition is exist or not. Yes, it exists, then it will be connecting to the sales. If I dial marketing, it goes to the CSS, it check whether marketing partition, yes, you can able to connect to the marketing here. If I dial operations, okay, it goes to the CSS. Under my CSS, I don't have operation partition. That means it's not possible to dial to the operations team. This is how partition and CSS works. Means now you are giving permission to reach sales and marketing, not to the operations. That's how you can be. That is what privileges. Privileges means what? Permission. You are giving the permissions. Okay, how you can give the permission, which department, which type of number. This is example internal I have given this one. Like external you want. So US and UK, you don't have permission to make a call. Yes, you can make the call to the Malaysia and Dubai. Still it's an international number, but Dubai and sorry, Malaysia and Singapore you can able to dial, but US and UK don't have. Everything that you can be defined by using the partition and CSS. Okay, so this is how we create partition and CSS applying. This is how it works. Got it? So now that is what CSS. See, this is the phone. CSS we have created, we have applied. Under this CSS, multiple partitions we can be created. Okay, creating partition is different, creating CSS is different. Now under one CSS, multiple partition means under CSS, okay, how many partition you have associate, only to that partition the call goes. No, we don't have any limit. How many you want, you can configure that. That's what partition and CSS. So this is some example we have. Just take care. Just you want to be. We have one more example which we have already discussed about partition and CSS. Understand carefully the partition and CSS here. Okay. The partition, it's just a name. It's just a name. Here you can see this one, lobby partition, employee partition, manager partition. No partition means unknown. Okay. And manager partition, one more we have this one. Means this is how we have created three partition, lobby, employee and manager partition. Then we have the phones, phone 1, phone 2, phone 3, phone 4, phone 5. Okay. Then we have the CSS here. Okay. Again, you can give any name for the CSS also. Partition also you can give any name. CSS also you can give any name this one. When you have created a CSS, under the CSS, you have to associate partition. Now, for an example here, okay, we have lobby partition and employee partition. That means from this phone, I can dial to lobby partition and employee partition phone number. Means if I dial from the phone 1 to phone 2, it reaches to the phone 2. Because whenever you dial, if there is a partition and CSS, it looks, okay, what CSS I'm having. Under that CSS, what partition is dialing. Now, destination, it comes under that partition or not. Oh, yes, destination under the employee partition. Under my CSS employee partition I'm having, I can able to dial here this one. Now from the phone one, is it possible to dial phone 3? Yes, next, next, next. So it's not possible to dial. When I'm come to this phone, this CSS contains lobby partition and employee partition. The phone 3 is into which partition? Manager partition. Then this manager partition is not exist under my phone 1, right? Then it is not possible. Yeah, phone 3 you can call to the phone 1. Okay. Now from the phone 1, is it possible to dial phone 4? There is no partition to the phone 4. This is the CSS which you have. Phone 1. But I'm dialing from phone 1. But for this, there is no partition. What? Can we dial? No. Next. No. Next. Next. Yes, we can dial. Okay. Because if there is no partition to any of the number, that means that is a non-partition. NONE, non-partition. From you have assign any CSS, from any CSS you can able to read to the non-partition also. See, every CSS there will be a non-partition. Means here lobby partition we have, employee partition we have. Also it will be contain non-partition. It will not display. Okay. Also it contain what? Non-partition. You are dialing to the phone 4. Phone 4 is what partition? Non-partition. But even any CSS can reach to the non-partition. So that's the reason you can able to reach to this phone here. Got it? Now, can we dial from phone 1 to phone 5? It's not possible. No. Let it be. I'm CSS, it's from the calling party, not from the called party. Called party already there is a partition. What partition it's having? Manager partition. But my CSS don't have the manager partition. So always I will look to my CSS, which partition is exist. Only that partition I can able to be reach. Yeah, phone 3 it having everyone. Got it? So that's how we can able to be create partition and CSS here is one. Okay. Now partition we can apply on the line also, partition we can apply on the device also. Suppose you apply the partition on the line or if you apply the partition on device, how exactly it works. So before we get into this one, so let's, have the practicals. Let's do the practicals and we'll come back on this one. Okay. So before I just get into this one, let me access my call manager. 142.164.21. That's an IP address. app admin, right? Huh? Oh, admin GUI. Okay. I'm going to copy, I'm going to register 2 more phones. So not super copy, I'll just go with the copy. So here I'm going to change the MAC address. And this is not Mola Mac. This is something Satish Kumar. Satish R. Okay. Then save this. Then I'm going to add all right. So there are 2 phones. I'm going to configure 1 more phone. Then this I'm going to be configure as Arbaz Z or yes, Arbaz Patan. Maybe he's from okay. Call ready will be this. Then line text label. Fine. All right. So I'm having 3 phones. 3 phones. One is Mola, one is Satish, one is Arbaz. Okay. For an example, Arbaz is the L1 engineer, Satish is the L2 engineer, and Mola is the L3 engineer. Okay. Now Arbaz having the permission to make call internal, then emergency EM 101 we have. Okay. Let's see that one by one. We'll do that one. Now Arbaz cannot dial to the other number like 98454 something. That number he cannot dial. Okay. So that's how I'm going to give the permissions here in this one. So first I'm going to be create the partitions. For this, I'll go to the call routing. Okay. And partition and CSS, where it is? Class of control. Here we have the option partition. If you go to that partition, find to see if there is any partitions are created. These are the default partitions we have created here. So I'm going to be creating new partition, add new. It's simple, just a name, that's it. Partition is just a name. So I'm going to create partition hyphen. Okay. Generally what happen whenever you assign any number to internal, right? Internal, everyone having the same partition. So that because internally they want to communicate, right? Okay. Internal. Okay. I can give comma and I can create one more partition. Means if I give say, it will create a partition. See now. Internal partition. Okay. It's just a partition. That's it. So like this, I'm going to create a new partition. Again, partition hyphen. Okay. Internal I have given. NA. NA means comma national calls. Okay. PT hyphen EM. Emergency calls. Then PT hyphen IN. International calls. See, after comma something national calls I have given, right? That will be take as your description. Okay, PT international, emergency. This is how the partition you create. It's very just a name, that's it. Now what you have to do here, now go to the devices and you have to apply that partition here, this one. For an example, you can go here, Mola Mac. If you go to the line page, that's the number, right? Here under this one, you have route partition. So here, whatever the partitions you have created, you get all the partitions. Now I am into what? PT internal, partition internal. So before I assign, this partition, okay, I'll just bring that Mola's phone 1. I'm bringing the phone 1 and also I'm going to bring the phone 2 here for the testing. And also I'm having the phone 2. Okay. This is the phone 1, Maula's number, and this is the phone 2. Okay. And its number is 646-1006. Let me dial 646-1006. It's ringing. I can able to answer the call. It's connected. Okay. Okay. Dial. Now I'm assigning the partition to the Mola Mac. I'm saving this configuration, applying this configuration. Okay. Now after this one, partition got applied. Now this is the Mola phone. For this number 646-1006, already we have applied the partition. Now this number under the partition. Now I'll go to the Satish phone. I'm going to dial. Earlier it was ringing. Now let's see whether it rings or not here. Okay, my number is again, Mola number is 646-1006. Cannot read the number. Can you see this one? Okay, now I'm trying to dial to the Mola. It's not possible. Why? Because when you're dialing, okay, it goes to its CSS. What is this phone CSS? None CSS. But I have not assigned any CSS or partition to phone. Whenever you are not assigning any partition or any CSS, that will be into none partition, none CSS. Now I don't have any CSS. Any CSS means none CSS. From the none CSS, I can reach only to the none partition. Now already this number is in partition, right? Yes or no? It's possible. Now can I dial from the Maula number to Satish number? Already you are into the partition. And here we don't have any partition and CSS. Huh? But even I don't have any CSS here. I don't have any none CSS. I have not, I just applied the partition here, this one. CSS I have not applied. You remember? Just that's the number. Okay. Now I have associated the partition here in this one. But there is no CSS is applied to this phone. Getting the point? From here to here, it's not dial. Why? Because I am into the none CSS, but you are into the partition. It's not possible. Now here you are into the partition, but there is no CSS. Now can we dial from here to here? Because I have not assigned any CSS here. Can we dial from this phone to this phone? Huh? Yes, sir. Let's try 6061007. It has to dial. So it's ringing. I can answer the call. It dials. You are into none CSS. None CSS can read to none partition, right? I don't have any partition here. I can dial. Okay, always it decides whether it's possible to route or not based on the CSS, not based on the partition. You're dialing some number. What CSS you have? None CSS. None CSS can reach to none partition. But already this phone number is in none partition, right? Similarly, when you try to dial here, it's not reaching. Why? Because only it can reach none to none. Here also none it's having. None partition is there. It can able to reach here. Got it? Always you have to look the CSS. Go to that phone. What CSS? Under that CSS, what partition is there only? And also it contains the none partition. Which one? None partition, none CSS, none partition it reaches. The partition is not. Then it's not possible to reach. Because that partition is not exist, right? So that's how we can apply. Now I have applied to the Maula, right? You got it now, this one. How partitions, yes, this one. Now I'm going to apply this partition for all the devices. All are into internal. Generally what happen, how many phones you create, internally every one will be having the single partition, same partition. Satish also I'm going to assign the partition. Always it will be which partition? Internal partition. PT internal. Save this one. Then I'll just go, I'll apply the configuration. Go back to Arbaz phone and assign the partition here. Internal partition. Save. Apply the configuration. Now I can able to dial any number. Now you tell me, can I dial to Maula to Satish? Okay, can I dial to Satish to Maula? It's not possible. Now you guys are telling yes. 646-1007. Cannot read the number. Now let's go to Satish. Dial 646-1006. Cannot read the number. Everyone having the partition, but there is no CSS. Which CSS it's having? None. None CSS can reach to none partition, but you are into partition, right? Then how it's possible to reach that one? So now we have to be create what? CSS, this one. Okay. Now just go to the call routing, go to the class of control, calling search space. Partition is just a name. Even CSS is just a name. Okay. Find to see if there is any CSS. We don't have any CSS. When we don't have, even we have the none CSS. Add new. Okay. The CSS is CSS what? Let me create L1, L2, L3. Okay. I just created L1. Just created. That's it. Now under this CSS L1, we had to associate the partitions. Okay. Now L1 for Arbaz I am giving as L1. So he can dial what? Emergency number. So emergency already we have the partition, right? Partition, emergency, associate, save this one. Got it? I have created one CSS as a L1. Under that one, emergency I have associated. Okay. Now one more phone I have to be bring it up. That's the third phone. That's the Arbaz phone. Okay. All right. This is the Arbaz phone. And this is my PSTN phone. So Arbaz having the permission to dial EM101. But what is the pattern to dial EM101? How we can dial out? 9101, right? Yes or no? We have created something route pattern is for to make external call is what? 9101. 9101. Okay. Now I'll just go to phone. CSS I have to apply, right? I'll just go to phone. Arbaz phone I'm applying. Here, if you scroll down, there is an option calling search space. Can you see this one? It's what? None by default. Okay. Now CSS L1. Why I'm getting only one option? Because only one CSS I have created. If you have created multiple CSS, it gives all the list here in this one. CSS L1. Now, whenever you dial any number, we have assigned the CSS. It goes, wait, I'm having a CSS. Okay. Under my CSS, what partition is there? Okay. These many partitions are there. Whatever the number I'm dialing, will it matches with these partitions? Yes. Then the call route. No, the call will not route. This is how it works. So now Arbaz I have given the CSS. Under the CSS, already we have what? Partition, emergency partition we have. Now I can able to dial the emergency partition, right? Okay. But I don't have permission to make international and national calls. Okay. So this is my Arbaz phone. This is the one 9101. Let's dial 9101. I'm dialing. It's ringing, right? I'm getting a call here, this one. I'm going to end the call here, this one. Emergency dialing, right? Let's try to dial another number we have. What is that number? For national call, how we have created, this is the one, right? 009. No, something we have created. Okay. No. 009. This is for national call. See, pattern we have created 009 and a number we have to dial. Okay. 009 and the number. This is the phone. 9 for the emergency. 009 for the national. 008 is for the international. Okay. 009. Then after number, what is the number? 98454999388. Now you don't have permission to dial this one. You have permission only to dial. But in this case, it rings. What happens? So I have given permission to dial only emergency, but even it's ringing to international, national number. Let's try for the international. International number is what? 008. Then after 14567890123. So it's dialing that one. Then what is the use of that one? Creating this national, international CSS I have created. Under that one, emergency partition I have associated. That CSS I have applied to the Arbaz. Now Arbaz can dial only emergency number. Yes, emergency, it's working. But Arbaz don't have the permission to dial national call and international call. But even Arbaz having the permission to dial internal number. Let's see whether the Arbaz can dial internal number or not. Internal number is 6461006. 6461006. Will it ring or not? Generally, it has to be ring internal and emergency, but it will not ring. Why? What is wrong here? It's not ringing internal. It's ringing emergency. Well and good. But also it's ringing the national and international number. How is it? We have provided the CSS, right? Why PSN phone CSS is required? Let it be anything. That PSS is outside. That's not in my control. At least I had to dial from. Do you want some time to think on this? Yes, no. See, from here, I'm unable to dial internal also. But actually, it has to dial internal. Yes, but it's not connecting. From here, yes, I had to connect to emergency. It's connecting. But when I dial to national and international, it should not work. But it's connecting. Think. See. Okay. You're into which partition? Partition internal. This phone also into partition internal. Okay. Now we have applied one CSS. CSS L1. Now CSS L1 can reach only emergency partition, right? So emergency partition means whenever if you dial from this number, it looks, hey, what CSS we have? Okay, CSS L1. Under then what partition it contains? Emergency partition it contains. You are dialing emergency number, it will be connecting. Well and good, right? But from this phone, when you dial to this internal number, what CSS you have? CSS L1. What partition it contains? Emergency partition. But already this phone is into which partition? But that partition is not exist here, right? How is it possible to dial? Under this CSS, the internal partition is not there. When it is not there, is it possible to dial? It's not possible. Okay, how the national and international is dialing? If you remember, to reach this emergency national number, international number, we have created the route pattern. Route pattern we have created. Did we assign any partition to this numbers? That means this is in which partition now? None. From any CSS, it can lead to the none partition, right? Now already I have a CSS. Also, I'm having what? None partition. These are into none partition. Even emergency number, it's reaching through none partition because I just created emergency partition, but I have not associated that emergency partition to any number. Remember, now I'm going to be assign that one. Okay. This is the number. If you get into this one, 9.101, do we have any partition here? None. From any CSS, it can reach to none partition. Go to here, PT emergency, save. Got it? Now we have applied the emergency partition. Now you go to the CSS. CSS L1. Also associate internal partition. PT internal. And save this one. Now CSS L1 having internal partition, emergency partition. Right? Yes or no? Now in this case, if I go to this Arbaz phone, I can dial internal 646-1006. I have to apply this. Where is this Arbaz? Okay. Get this smallest phone. Now 646-1006. 646-1006. Will it ring or not? It rings. Because it goes to my CSS. My CSS, the dial number is into partition. Which partition? Internal partition. My CSS contains internal partition. I can able to reach. Okay. Now, if I go to the emergency number 9101, yes, it reaches. It's reaching. If I dial 009-98454-99388, will it rings now? It rings. Because again the national international number I have not associated any partitions. So I had to go back to the route pattern. This is the national calls. National partition I have created. Partition NA. Save. Then we have the another international number, international calls. Go to this. Partition IN. Save. Okay. Now go to the device. Arbaz phone. Just apply the configuration. And also restart this phone once. Restart, close. This is the phone. Okay. Yes, obviously I'm dialing the internal number. But if I try to dial now 9101, it rings, right? But if I dial 009 98454999388, will it rings now? No. Cannot read the number. Try to dial 008 144567890 123. International number I'm dialing. 008 14567890123. Cannot read the number. Why? My CSS contain internal partition, emergency partition. Only I can read internal partition, whatever the number internal partition it's having, whatever the number emergency it's having. Other, I don't have, but none I can reach here. This is how you can create your partition and CSS, and this is very, very important. This is what? Very, very important here, this one. Now, if you remember, earlier we used to dial the call from, right? You remember from the external also we can able to dial, right? From the PSTN we can able to dial internal number, right? Okay. So I'll just close this one and bring it this smaller. Earlier, if you remember, so this phone we can able to dial. So the number we have 9180222106, right? That's the how we are dialing, right? 9180222106. I'm dialing the number. Call is not connecting. Why? Earlier the call was coming. The call is not coming here. Let's see on the gateway. Do we have any issues with the manipulation? So this is my gateway. So I have to look that number manipulation. Yes, Mola's number is 6. 6 is manipulating, but still the call is not coming. Let me try one more time. 9180222106. It's not connecting here. Now I had to troubleshoot. Incoming call is not working. Same thing. See, the many things I'm covering here, this one. So I'll just go to the gateway. First on the gateway, it's ISDN gateway, right? So first we have to be look here if the call is hitting or not on the gateway here, this one. For this one, I'll enable terminal monitor. Why I'm enabling the terminal monitor? I want to see the output here itself, this one. So the debug, which debug you can use? Debug ISDN Q931 for the calls. Okay, enter. Now I'm going to dial the number. What is that number I'm dialing here? I'm going to redial that one, same number. Redial, nothing is there. The number is 9180 double two 9180222106. This is the number I'm dialing. Let's see the call is coming or not on the gateway first of all. Call is not coming on the gateway. Yes, it's coming. Okay, call is coming. That means there is no issue with the provider. I'm enabling, nothing is coming means it's a provider issue, that one. But till my gateway, the call is coming, there is no issue with the provider. Now issue is on my from the gateway or the call manager or something. Let's analyze this call here in this one. So in this one, you can see the calling party number. Okay, yes, calling party is 101. Calling party is 101. From here, I'm dialing 101. Call party, 221006. 221006. Huh. That's the number is coming. But 221006, we don't have any 221006. We have what? The call party, it's getting as I'm telling is what? 9180222106. But here only getting 222106. Is this the valid number? What is happening here? Okay, any manipulation is happening. That's okay. Difficult here, this one. Now let's do it another way. Use space all, because I'm getting confusion here, but I don't know 221006 is the what number here. Now here I'm going to debug, wipe, copy, in and out. With this one, we can say what number is coming, what number is manipulating, what number is trying to go outside here in this one. Now again, I'm going to dial 9180221006. End the call. Let's analyze this. Okay. For this, what I can do here. Okay, from here we have. Let me copy this. Open the notepad. Paste it here. So easily we can do it. Okay, call is coming here. Okay, what is my calling number? 101. Call number is 222106. Okay, incoming dial pair is 101. Is matching. After that, provider, I'm dialing 9180, but provider is sending only 221006. Means 91 is not sending. 9180 is not sending. Provider is stripping that 9180 and sending that number. Okay, let it be. Huh? Provider is sending. Here on my gateway, I'm checking what number is coming here. Let's see that one. Okay, incoming is matching 221006. But actually, it's a 6461006. Again, it's 221006 only we are getting. And outgoing del P 202. Okay, 1 second. Let me dial 9180221001. I'm going to dial. That 1001 number is up. Okay, but provider is sending only 221001. But 22 we don't have any number here. So if you remember here, this one dial pair 202 is matching. Let's see what dial pair we have. Show run section dial pair Okay. Actually, dial pair 301 has to be matched, right? It has to be convert the number and it has to be match this one. But here, what is happening here in this one? Dial pair 202 is matching. This is the dial pair 202. We have created the call go outside. We have created for what? The call go outside, right? See, this is what happened. This is something configuration mismatch we have. So that's the reason the calls are not connecting. Okay. We will troubleshoot after the break. Okay, so I'm trying to call this number from external. The call is not coming. I'm dialing from external to internal. So actually the number is 9180 double two 1006. The call is not coming here. Okay. But the call is coming till my gateway. Okay, but in the gateway something manipulation is not working properly. Maybe for that reason, see unknown number here. So what I'm going to do, so I'll just get into the gateway. This is my gateway. Let's see the configuration here. What configuration we have here, this one. See, I'm getting a call as whenever I'm dialing, I'm getting call 22106, but actually 918022 it has to become, but somewhere the manipulation mismatch we have here in this one. So let's see the configuration here, this one. See already for the incoming call, dial pair is matching. See, if you remember, show run section dial pair. See what happened here, this one. You have to understand this carefully. This is the PSTN. Okay. From the PSTN, I'm having a gateway here. This is the E1 connection I'm having, P1, sorry. When the call is coming here, first inbound dial pair has to match, right? Okay. Now I'm having only 3 dial pairs here in this one. One, the 202 I'm having, 201 I'm having, 301 I'm having, 101 I'm having here, this one. I believe this is the 101. Okay, this is the 101. Can you see this one? Actually, what happened here, this one, the dial pair 101 we have created as an inbound dial pair. Why? Because there is the translation profile incoming where incoming we have this one. Okay, somewhere this manipulation is wrong here, this one. See, generally what happened, first inbound dial pair has to be matched. After that manipulation, then outbound dial pair has to become here, this one. Okay, now let's look into this dial pair 101. Okay, we have a translation profile incoming. Okay, we have created one profile incoming. So in this, we have to be look what exactly the issue here in this one. So what I'm going to do here in this one, show running configuration. The profile we have, yes, incoming, translate call number. Call means whenever we are calling, it has number. Yes, the number is manipulating 646101. See, actually, whenever if the call is coming, actually this is the number, right? Whenever the call is coming 9180221006, it has to be converted to 6461006. But the problem is there we are getting a call as a double two. See here, only this much 9180 we are not getting here. 9180 we are not getting. So let's look into another gateway that's on a PSTN end. Pure run. Here you can see there is one dial pair we have created supports, that's analog phone we have. Another win we have created. Yes, here can you see this one? Dial pair voice 201, destination pattern 9180 we have created. So generally it will not come here, no digit strip here. Okay. Maybe because of that. Let's try now. 9180221006. Okay. Maybe this time is working perfectly. So I'm in the headquarter terminal monitor and debug wipe copy in out. So I'll just go. I'll again dial 9180221006. Let's see what number it's coming here. Okay. Now let's see the calling number and call number here. Yes, this time it's coming. 9180221006. Still the call is not connecting. Now I had to be from here also we can look in why the see cause value I'm getting 1. So but I'll show you another debug. Debug ISDN Q931. Okay, I'm enabling. Now I'll try to make a call again. 9180. See here. Calling number is 101. Call number is 9180221006. Yes, perfect. But again, after that, what is happening? Manipulation is happening. If you remember on the manipulation, calling number is 101. It's matching to the 6461006. Okay, but still the call is not connecting. Why? Because there is a cause code here, this one. Unallocated or unassigned number. That means cause value 1. Okay, cause value 1 means unallocated or unassigned number means I am unable to find that number. Either that number is not exist or that number is not configured or unable to reach that number here, this one. Okay, this is the error we are getting. Why we are getting this error? Already that number is there. Manipulation is there. In the call manager, you just come and 6461006 if you check. Okay, now see, this is the number, right? If I come to the call manager, if I go to the call routing and route plan report, in the route plan report, so pattern contains, if you search that number 6461006, yes, 6461006, that's a what number we have, which is assigned to this phone, SCP-111, which is assigned. That is a DN number. Okay, can you see this one? Directory number. Type is what? Directory number. That means manipulation also happening. Del pair we have created. It's reaching till the call manager, but still it's not connecting because of partition and CSS mismatch. Because what? Partition and CSS mismatch here, this one. Okay. Whenever you create any gateway, in the gateway CSS has to be applied. And that CSS should contain all the partitions. Okay. Now here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one CSS. It's best practice, always CSS all. In this one, I'm going to minimum internal partition should be there, minimum this one. Why? Because from the gateway, it's coming to call manager. Now gateway is the calling party. Gateway is the what? Calling party. Phone is the called party. Now gateway should contain the CSS, right? Gateway also should contain the CSS. If the gateway doesn't have the CSS, by default gateway is none CSS. None CSS to none partition it reaches. None CSS to explicit partition it will not reach here, this one. At least I'm giving internal partition here as if now, okay, for the demonstration. Now I'll go what we have a trunk here. You take any type, MGCP gateway, H.323 gateway, SIP trunk, any gateway you take it, voice gateway or trunk, it should have. Okay. So I think we have created Tata, right? Tata Road Group, right? Bangalore MTP. Okay, Tata Road Group. If you scroll down here, we get an option calling search space. Media resources. Inbound calls. Means we are receiving the incoming call. On what we have? Calling search space. CSS on. Save. Reset this once. Restart. Close. Now, this time, if you dial, call will connect without any issue here. This one. Again, I'll just bring it 9180. Sorry, not here. I have to dial here. 9180 But this time it has to connect the call. Even on the trunk, we have applied the CSS. Can you see here? I'm getting a call. Hello.
Hello.
See, it's into the connected. Got it? So this partition CSS we have to apply on the gateway also. If you are not applying the CSS, incoming call will not work. Partition CSS is not working. Calling issue we get. Outgoing call is not working. Incoming call is not working. We have to look into the partition CSS also, which is not configured properly, which is not associated properly, that one. Then the calls will not connect. That is also the reason. So the calls will not connect. Got it? Now you got it, the concept of partition and CSS. Okay. I'm going to stop the debugs. Then this CSS we have, right? We can apply in multiple places. Now where I have applied the CSS? Gateway we can apply on the phone. On the phone, I have applied, sorry, not on this phone. If you go to this one, here I have applied the calling search space on the device page. Also, we can apply the CSS on the line page. See, calling search space. Here also I can apply. Okay, now what is the difference applying the CSS on the device and applying the CSS on the line? Can we apply the CSS on both the pages, on the line also, and line and as well as device? See example, I'll bring this phone. Arbaz third phone. And this is my external phone. If you remember, Arbaz we have given permission only to make emergency call, right? 9101, the call goes. See, the call is hitting, not any. So if I dial 009 9845499388, the call will not connect because what CSS I have applied to the Arbaz 4, it contains only two partition. One is the internal partition, one is the emergency partition. Now it not contain the national number and international partition here, this one. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to be create another CSS here in this one. Class of control, calling search space. Okay, we have already CSS, two CSS, we have CSS all. Okay, let me go CSS all only. That means which contains all the partitions. So here I'll just go. I'll go to the emergency. I'll go to the international. I'll go to the national. That means CSS all contains all the partition. If any phone, if you apply this CSS all, what happen? It will connect. Means it will connect all type of numbers. Now I'll just go back to this Arbaz phone. Here on the device, already I have given the CSS L1. One CSS I have given on the device level. Now I'll go to the line page. In the line page, now here I'm going to give all. On the line page, different CSS. On the device page, different CSS. Can we configure like this? If we configure, how it works? Save. Okay, apply the configuration. I'll restart this phone once. If you remember, we have one CSS on, one in line. Will it works or how it works? Okay, there are two CSS. CSS all, which contains internal, national, emergency, international. All the partition it contains. Another CSS, CSS L1, which contains internal, emergency. Now this is the phone. We have applied both. This we have applied on the line page. This we have applied on the device page. How it works? Yes, you can apply the CSS on the device also, on line also this one. Okay. When you have applied, maybe the same CSS or different CSS, it can be applied. It's going to combine both. Means, yes, you have permission. You have permission to make internal, national, emergency, international. But under the device also we have to, because already it's exist here, right? Okay, it'll take. Suppose if it is having a different, it's going to combine, that's it. Means it take the line one also, it will take the device one also, you can able to be reach here in this one. So in this case, now Arbaz can dial international number also, national number also. Let's see that one. 009 9845499388. See, it's ringing. Okay. Now let's dial 00. 8 1 4 5 6 7 8 9 0 1 2 3. See, it's ringing international number also here in this one. I'm dialing to 1 4 5 6 this one. Because on the line page, I'm having all the permission, right? This is how you can be apply the CSS on the line also, device also. Okay. Any configuration, sometimes you can be applied in multiple places. Example, line of the phone, device page of the phone, device pool, okay, and enterprise parameter. Okay. Line, device, device pool, enterprise parameter. Means same configuration if, or different configuration if you have an option, any option I'm taking. For example, this part CSS you can take. CSS we can apply on the line also, CSS we can apply on the device also, this one. It's going to combine in everything and it gives the priority actually. It gives the priority means, example, I'm having a scenario like this. Okay, I'm going to delete this logs. Scenario is like this. I have one partition. Okay, 101 we have. Okay. Now, this is the partition I have created, something partition 1. 101 partition 1. I am blocking this number. I am blocking this number. Now, another 101 I have created, partition 2. I am allowing this number. There are two numbers, 101 with the blocking, 101 with allowing. There is one CSS1 which contains this one. CSS2 contains this one. With the CSS2 101, it routes. With the CSS1 101, it will block. Now this is the phone. I have applied both the CSS. I have applied CSS2 and CSS1 I have applied. This I have applied on the line. This I have applied on the device. It's going to combine both this and this. Now, if I dial 101, it route or not? How? It will route and block means how? First call, first time if you dial, it will route. Second time if you dial, block. Same number we have. One number with allow, one number with a block. Both the CSS we have applied. What priority? It will block. In this case, what happened? It will allow. Always line CSS having more priority. Priority wise, anything if you have configured on the line, more. Second priority on device. Third priority on device pool. Fourth priority as enterprise parameter. Whenever if you configure, line will take more priority than device. Got it? So let's try some route pattern. 101 we have, right? 9101. I'm going to block this number. What I'm doing? So this is the pattern we have. Here we have an option, block this pattern. Error we have, no error. Save this one. Updated successfully. Now, if I go from Arbaz, we have the CSS, right? Which is containing emergency partition also, right? So Arbaz phone already we have both. Okay. Earlier it was routing. So you want me to test it. So you can route this pattern. Example, I'm not blocking. I'm routing this. I'm applying this one. Okay. After that, I'll just go back. I'll dial 9101. It's ringing here. Okay. After that, I'm blocking this one. Block this pattern, save this one. That means this time if I dial 101, it has to be block. Okay. Now I'll do 9101. It rings or not? See, it's not ringing. Why? I have blocked this one. Block this pattern I'm having. All right. Now I'm going to create one more number with the same. Okay. I'll just copy this one. Okay. I will say it give the error. Add failed, cannot insert updated pattern. A route pattern exists. Whenever you create a route pattern or translation pattern, anything, number, DN number you can create. For example, 6461001. Like this, that number you can apply to the multiple phones. But translation pattern, route pattern, you cannot create. Already 9.101 we have, right? It's not possible to create another 9.101. It should be a different. If you want to create, yes, we can create. It should be into a different partition because 9.101 it's into PTEM, right? So I have to create another partition. For this, I'll just go. I'm applying the. I'm going to create another CSS. What is that CSS? Okay, not CSS. Partition I'm going to be create. Okay, add new. So maybe this, which CSS we have a partition? PTEM we have, right? PT hyphen EM hyphen allow. Emergency calls allow. That means I am creating another partition to allow the call. Already it's a blocking. Okay. Now in this time, I will go to the 9101. I'll just copy this. This time I'm changing the partition. Partition EM allow. There are two partitions, same number. Okay. Partition EM, partition EM allow. EM means that's for blocking. Okay. Then I'll route this one. I'm not blocking. I'm routing. See, this time it will not give any error. So it has taken. So if you go back to the route pattern, we have two numbers, 9.101, 9.101, but two different partition, partition EM allow. In interview, they will be asked, can we create two route patterns or translation pattern with the same number? Yes, we can create with the two different partitions. The same partition, it's not possible. Okay. Now, one number I am allowing, one number I am blocking here, this one. Now, I'll go back to the CSS. There are two CSS we have applied, right? To the Arbas. On the device we have applied, on the line we have applied. So, CSS L1, which we have applied on device. CSS all we have applied on line. So, what I am going to do here, CSS all, I am going to allow that partition. This one. If you want, you can remove this PTEM. Okay. See, this means under my CSS all, I don't have the blocking one. Yes, blocking one we have there in the device CSS. So save. Save we have. Now go to the phone. Select the Arbaz phone. Restart the device once. You got it now? I have created 101 with the block also, 101 with the allow also. Allow I have applied on the line CSS. Block I have applied on the device CSS. Now if I dial 9101, it will work or not? It has to work. It's working. Why? It's in line. Always it takes line is the more priority. Getting this one, 101 I have applied there also. But if I interchange block on the line in the this one, it will block. Okay. If you want, we can do it that one also. See. Okay. Now I'll just go here. Okay, not here. In this one, this is the CSS all. EM allow, I'm removing because I don't have here. Save this one. Save. Okay. There is a one more CSS, right? CSS L1. In that one also we have block. Yes. PTEM is what? Block we have. There, what I have to do here? Here I'm going to allow, EM allow. You got it, this one? Now what I have done, on the line CSS, I'm blocking. On the device, I'm allowing. So when we have done this one, if I reset this phone one, now this time it will not work. Why? Because always it will be take. Okay, registering 9101. This is weird. It should not work like this, but still it's working. It's combining, it's working, but actually it will not work actually, but it's combining. This is the result. CSS all we have allow only. It should be only EM, right? Emergency, PT emergency, it's a blocking, right? And CSS L1, it's allow. It should be allow here. Now I'm going to reset this phone once. Both the end we have allow. Okay. 9101. See? It's taking what? It's not ringing. Why? Because on the line we have the blocking now. This is how your partition and CSS works. Got it? Clear? Any doubts, any question? This is what partition and CSS. It's very simple. Whenever you dial from any phone, that phone, what CSS it's having, that CSS, what partition it contains. If the partition is contained, then it reaches. If the partition is not contained, it's not possible to reach, but it can reach to the none one. Okay. Then even for the incoming call, whatever the gateways we have configured, it can be any gateway, H.323 MGCP SIP. On that gateway also the CSS should be defined. Why? Because the call is coming from the provider and it terminating on the gateway. From the gateway, it's connecting one more call like. So now gateway is calling. Calling number means even I require the CSS. If the CSS is not applied on the gateway, unallocated number we get. Sometimes in an interview they'll ask, I'm getting a call, I'm collecting the logs, unallocated number I'm getting. How you can troubleshoot? It's issue with the CSS. And whatever the gateway we have to apply the CSS that should contain the partition of what number I'm dialing internals. Okay. So that's how the partition and CSS works.